Once upon a time, in a small town tucked between rolling hills and dense woods, there lived a young man named Ethan Parker. He was only 18, but the weight he carried made him seem older than anyone his age. His eyes held quiet pain, and his shoulders bore burdens invisible to the world. Ethan lived in a modest home with his mother. His father had walked away years ago, leaving only memories and unspoken questions. Since then, Ethan had learned resilience. Yet inside, he felt trapped, as if fear, doubt, and old wounds had built a cage around his heart. Every morning, Ethan passed by a rusted iron gate at the edge of town. Beyond it lay an abandoned factory, its windows broken, walls graffiti-stained, and doors chained shut. The townsfolk called it the Cage of Time, whispering stories of forgotten dreams and lost souls. Nobody went near it, yet Ethan always stopped, staring as if the factory were calling him. One late evening, after a long day of work at the diner and helping his mother with bills, Ethan found himself at the gate again. The sun dipped behind the hills, painting the sky in fiery oranges and deep golds. The cicadas sang, and a chilly breeze rustled the tall grass. Ethan's chest felt tight, as if the world itself pressed down on him. He whispered to himself, "Why am I always stuck? Why can't I move forward? Why does fear have to control me?" From the shadows, a voice spoke, soft, calm, yet undeniably strong. "You're not stuck, Ethan. You're just afraid of breaking chains you never chose to wear." Ethan spun around. On a weathered bench, an old man sat with a wooden cane across his knees. His eyes were calm as still water, yet they held the depth of someone who had survived storms Ethan could never imagine. "Who are you?" Ethan asked, his voice trembling slightly. The old man smiled, a gentle, knowing curve of lips. "Name's Samuel Hayes, and the chains I speak of aren't made of metal. They are the chains of fear, doubt, and old pain. You didn't choose them, but you carry them every day. Stronger than iron, heavier than stone." Ethan felt a strange comfort in Samuel's presence. "I want to break them," he said, almost in a whisper. "But I don't know how." Samuel nodded. "Come back tomorrow morning. I'll show you something." The next morning, Ethan arrived at the factory. The air smelled of dust and sunlight. Cracks in the walls letting golden beams that danced across the broken floors. Samuel led him to the center, where sunlight pooled like liquid gold. "This place is like your heart," Samuel said, his voice echoing softly. "Broken, forgotten, silent, but still, the light finds a way in." He handed Ethan a thick, rusty chain. "Hold this and walk across the room, slowly." Ethan grasped the chain. Its weight pulled at his arms, each step a struggle. His muscles burned, sweat dripped, but he continued. Step by painstaking step, he moved forward, feeling the heaviness settle into his bones. After a while, Samuel said, "Now drop it." Ethan let go. His hands were free, his shoulders lighter than they had been in years. For the first time, he noticed the air seemed brighter, the room wider. A small smile appeared on his face. "I feel light," he said. Samuel nodded. "That's what happens when you let go of what no longer serves you. Pain is real. Fear is real. But you don't have to carry them forever." Tears stung Ethan's eyes. He understood, finally. The prison had never been outside. It had been inside him. And the key to freedom? Always in his hands. From that day on, Ethan returned to the factory, not to carry chains, but to leave behind the burdens of his mind. Each morning he walked through the broken halls, step by step, breath by breath, letting the sunlight and silence teach him peace. Slowly, the weight inside him lifted. Nights of tossing and turning became nights of rest. Conversations became lighter, laughter more genuine. He realized the world around him hadn't changed, but the world inside him had. Ethan learned that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's stepping forward despite it. Strength isn't the absence of pain, it's rising again after every fall. And hope isn't something you find, it's something you create, moment by moment, decision by decision. Years later, Ethan Parker walked confidently through the town square. He no longer feared the gates of the old factory. He smiled at them, remembering the chains he had carried and released. He volunteered at schools, sharing his story with teens who felt trapped by life's pressures. "The cage you feel," he told them, "is often in your mind. Break your chains. Step forward. Write your story. And though he was the same boy who had once stood under the fiery sunset, whispering questions to the wind, Ethan was no longer lost. He was free. He had found his strength, his courage, his hope. Because the truth is this: you are not weak because you hurt. You are strong because you are still standing. And your chains? They do not define you. They are simply the first challenge you were meant to overcome. If this story touches your heart, remember, freedom begins with one choice, one breath, one step, one moment. Step forward, like Ethan Parker, and leave the weight behind. The world is waiting for your story,